So you're a brand new real estate agent and you want to get listings. Everybody's telling you you have to list to last and you just don't know how to get started. Well, in this video, I'm going to go over a step-by-step guide how to get your first listings as a new real estate agent. Let's dive right into the video. All right, so let's dive into the video and let's dive into exactly how to get your first listings as a real estate agent. So you want listings? Well, you're smart because right now is one of the best times to be a real estate listing agent, and listing agents are making all the money in the industry right now, and they're working not as hard as buyer's agents. So if you're currently working with buyers and you're trying to figure out how to get some listing inventory, you probably know that you're probably working with buyers, showing them a ton of houses right now. And a lot of times they're making multiple offers before they get an offer accepted. Once that happens, you have to go through a home inspection. And if that falls apart, you're back out looking at houses again, driving all over the state, showing those buyers house after house after house. If you want to stop doing that and you want to start getting a mix of listing inventory, this is the video for you. And I'm going to go over exactly how to get started with that as a new agent. So the very first thing you want to do is you want to focus on what you already have. Most people that get their real estate license have a money tree already. They just choose not to water it. So what I mean by that is you already have a sphere of influence. You already have people that know you, like you, and trust you as a human being. Now you have a real estate license, so you can help those people with the sale of their home. So depending on who you know, depending on your age and the age of all your friends, you may have more listing opportunities than somebody else, or you may have less. But with that being said, you have listing opportunities within your sphere of influence, and it's not smart to avoid them and to ignore them. I find so many agents that just get their license, they want to spend money on leads, and there's a time and a place for that. But don't forget to water the money tree that you already have growing that isn't costing you any money. So the first thing you want to do is reach out to your sphere of influence. And all you have to do is reach out and say, hey, look, I just got my real estate license. What I'm doing is I'm offering everybody a free home value report. That way, you know what your home is worth. There's no pressure to sell. You don't have to sell. It just gives you an idea of, how much it's worth. Maybe you want to do a refinance. Maybe you want to just find out and see how much equity you have in general, because people can do things with the equity too. Don't forget that. One avenue sellers can take is they can actually do something called a home equity line of credit or a cash out refinance. And you could turn those same sellers that would have just left that money there as debt equity into investor clients. Maybe they want to take that equity and turn it into an investment property or income property. And you could be the agent that helps them buy that. But with that being said, you're also going to have people that realize they have a lot of money in their house tied up and they want to cash out while the market's hot. So if you can provide that value and show people how much money they can possibly get for their house if they were to sell it, you're going to get phone calls. And even the people that don't sell, they're going to appreciate you giving that free home value report. And if it's 1 or 2 years down the line and they decide to make that move, they're going to check back and see that report. And they're going to be like, hey, this agent spent this time with me. Let me call them and see if they want to list my house. That's a great way to set a great foundation as a new real estate agent. And one of the best tools that you can use that I use on a daily basis is called Cloud CMA. What you can do is you can find listings to comp properties. You take the MLS IDs, plug it into Cloud CMA, and it builds you an entire CMA report within minutes that you can send to clients by email, PDF, or you could print it out and deliver it to their house. This is a great tool to use and it's fairly inexpensive, so be sure to check that out. Next, we're going to talk about the low-hanging fruit of the real estate industry. When I say the low-hanging fruit, I mean these people want to move, they want to sell. These are for sale by owner leads. These people have raised their hand, they have identified as people that want to sell their house. The only problem is they don't want to sell their house with you and pay a real estate agent. And this is where the skill comes in. It's low-hanging fruit, but it's very hard to pick off the fruit tree, right? And there's a lot of rejection with this lead source. So it's not for the thin skin, but it's a great place to start because you're gonna get used to being comfortable with rejection. The first 3 or 4 weeks you do this is really gonna be hard and you're probably gonna dislike it a lot. But if you can get through those 3 or 4 weeks and just, make it a daily habit, it gets easier and easier with time, and the rejection starts to feel normal. And it's like, hey, this rejection happened and I'm one step closer to the person saying yes. Now, a quick tip for sale by owner leads is you don't want to hard sell or pressure these sellers into selling with you. All you want to do is you want to ask them if you can come by, preview the house. If you have a buyer, you'd love to bring them to them and offer them some free value. Maybe bring them another home value report and say, hey, I'm here as a backup plan. If you need anything in the future, reach out. And then every single week, reach out to them, see how they're doing, see if you can help them in any way. And then when they give up on the process and they decide they don't want to deal with this anymore, you're going to be the agent they call because you led with value and you gave them value, and you just didn't call them and say, hey, let me list your house. Because you want to always lead the transaction and lead the relationship with adding value. And that's really going to help you engage these for sale by owners and show them that you're different than every other agent that's just out there trying to collect the commission. Next, I want to talk to you about absentee owner leads. This lead source is overlooked and it's really underappreciated. The best part about absentee owner leads is a lot of these houses are just sitting there vacant. The owners are not using them. The owners don't really need them. It's not their primary residence. And the best part about it is you don't have any of the logistics of helping somebody move. You don't have to plan the move. You don't have to find them something else. You don't have to do any of that stuff. Once you get the listing, you show them what they can get for their property. They say, yes, I want to try this. You take photos, you put a lockbox in the house, you go show it, and it gets done pretty quickly. And a lot of these sellers are motivated. And it's a great lead source to tackle because you're providing a lot of value. It's an asset that somebody has that's just sitting there. They're probably paying taxes on it. They're paying, monthly expenses on this property to keep it sitting there. And they might want to cash out, especially now that the market's so high, and they might not even know how much equity they have in the house. So being able to reach out to somebody and show them how much equity they have is a huge thing, especially as a new agent that's trying to build listing inventory. Last but certainly not least, I want to talk to you about for rent by owner leads. And this is a lead source not many people call. Now, this lead source you have to approach a little differently than the for sale by owner lead source. Now, these people don't even want to sell. They're listing their house for rent. But a lot of these people that list their house for rent, they don't want to rent it. They're, accidental landlords. And these people may have inherited the house. Maybe they just have this one rental. They don't really want to be a landlord, but they're doing it because the house is sitting there empty and they want to make some money on it. Well, if you can show them that they can, make a big lump sum of cash, sell the asset, and get out of, being a landlord, a lot of these sellers will actually list with you and they'll entertain the idea. I called somebody last year, they didn't even want to sell. They had this rental for quite a few years and they kept renting it, but I showed them like, hey, this is what it's worth now. It might be a good idea to sell the asset versus renting it for this little tiny amount of money. It was a really small house. And they thought about it for a couple weeks and then they called me up and said, let's do it. Let's sell it. Now's the time. So you can show people and you can say, hey, look, I'm not going to pressure you. I don't want to pressure you. If you want to hold it as a rental, that's awesome. I want to be your resource. Maybe we go out and buy more rentals if that's what you want to do. But I want to show you what it's worth. And then at the end of the day, you make the choice. You're a grown up, you're an investor, you're a homeowner. I just want to show you what your options are. You can weigh the pros and cons, and then you can tell me what you want to do. And that's the best approach to take with any seller because at the end of the day, it's their asset, it's their choice. You just want to be the beacon of information and provide them with options, and then they can make their own decision. So as a new agent, I encourage you to take this avenue. These are 4 different lead sources that you can start going after on a daily basis to build your inventory really quickly. So definitely drop it in the comment section below. Which lead source do you like the best? And let me know, how did you get your first listing as a new real estate agent? I look forward to hearing that. Subscribe for more real estate content. We're here to help you build your real estate empire, and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for watching and have an awesome day.